This is the aftermath of a garbage truck fire. This is what a garbage truck looks like after it goes up in flames. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We are out here on Memorial Day.
I'm glad you brought up Memorial Day.
Monday. Yes, unfortunately, we do work holidays. But, you know, for me, it's never really been an issue, you know, doing commercial. Front load for the majority of my career. We always worked the holidays, even Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. I mean, it was hard at first, you know, sitting there on Christmas Day and kids are trying to open up presents and stuff, and I'm out there working. But you know, with commercial, you know, I could always kind of pick ahead if I needed to. And we started super early in the morning.
Also, I don't like waking up super early in the morning.
So I would get up at, you know, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, get to work by 1. And, you know, I would pick ahead my route. That way, when I would go in on Christmas, I'd get in at 1:30 in the morning. I'd get done. I'd be home by 8:30, 9 o'clock. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Now, I know I've mentioned hot loads in previous videos. Like, I've never had one. I knock on wood. It's kind of one of those things where I hope I never do get one, because they could be extremely scary.
I know that what happened back there was really scary.
The problem is, a lot of times you can get through them without really, you can either jump off the load, or there's things that you can do. A lot of times with hot loads, they'll start to smolder. You don't really notice it, but when you're packing the truck, you're kind of taking the oxygen out of the equation, right? But you notice that you're starting to see flames coming out of the hopper, whether it be you see the flames coming out of the hopper in your camera, or you see smoke in your camera or coming out of your truck. You know, by then it could be too late. You know, you open up that back tailgate to dump it out, and that introduces all kinds of oxygen to that fire. And the next thing you know, it goes poof, and it's just up in flames before you can say the word fire. I mean, it's crazy how quick it can happen. So this is what happens. This is the aftermath of a garbage truck fire. This is what a garbage truck looks like after it goes up in flames. One of our trucks went up in flames last Friday due to, they're not sure yet, but it sounds like it's probably a battery or pool chemicals that got mixed in the load. And once that happens, the driver couldn't get it dumped out quick enough, and just the whole truck just up in flames. I mean, this is absolute devastation. What can happen? Look at the rims. Look what happens to the rims. Just horrible. This is what happens when things get put in the trash that aren't supposed to be there. This is what happens. Look at the inside. Just completely devastated. Just total devastation. And this is a blue truck, by the way. You see, this is what it looks like normally. This is what it looks like afterwards. Everybody everybody could just do me a big favor. If you're enjoying this content, drop a like. It really, truly does help out the channel. I mean, it's amazing. Whoa! How much a difference just hitting that like button makes a difference. Let's see if we can get this. I know it's going to be a lofty goal. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video. Also, if you're feeling generous, consider hitting that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're growing pretty quick here. Let's see how fast we can get this channel to 500 subs. That's the next goal. Let's see how quick we can get there. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button. Let's continue growing this channel. So, this is kind of the things that we're talking about when that can make trucks start on fire. So you got weed and grass killer. You know, that's the kind of stuff gets mixed with, you know, any kind of fertilizer or, you know, all this metal and stuff. That stuff, you know, it all gets combined, right, into the truck. Well, if certain things mix, I mean, it basically creates a bomb, right? Like, it's just things. That's why we always say, please do not put stuff like that in the trash. We have, you know, the town of Gilbert, we have a place called HHW. Now, not all cities have it, but I'm sure most cities or towns or wherever you live has some place where you can bring chemicals, pool chemicals. Especially here in Arizona, there's, you know, so many places, you know, so many houses have pools. So they provide places to bring pool chemicals. You know, a lot of people use, you know, pool companies, but not everybody does. So you need a place to put that stuff if you don't use it all, right? So we have places called like HHW, Household Hazardous Waste, where you can bring free of charge pool chemicals, paint, weed killer, any kind of chemical, any kind of paint, stains, stuff like that. So you don't have to put it in the trash. I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, what do I do with this kind of stuff? Well, contact your local, you know, city or government or wherever and just ask them. I'm sure they'll know. I'm sure they'll provide a place to where you can bring it generally free of charge, because they don't want you putting it in the trash, because as you've seen, or you'll see what happens when a garbage truck goes up in flames. It's not a pretty sight.
It's not a pretty sight.
Luckily, the driver was able to pull it over to a safe spot, and it did no harm to any houses or trees or anything like that. I mean, that's one of the big reasons why, you know, you really want to know your route, because if something like that happens, you know of a spot where you will be able to pull over and safely either dump out your load, dump out the trash, or if you don't think that you're going to be able to, at least if it goes up in flames, it's not going to hurt anything around it. You know, it might melt the asphalt a little bit. It might have to repave the street where it happened, but that's the worst that happens. I guess so be it.